This is the Ferrari GTC4 Lusso, and it starts from £231,000, which makes it the most expensive car I've ever reviewed for Carwow. But it's by no means the most expensive front-engine V12 Ferrari you can buy. See this? This is a Ferrari 166mm from 1953, and that will set you back £3 million. Makes the GTC seem like a bit of a bargain now, doesn't it? Especially as you've got 4 times the power of this and some practical rear seats. So let's get rid of this old car. I can hardly hear myself think. What a racket! Oh my God. Now, seeing as you're on the subject of value for money, click on the pop-out button in the top right-hand corner of the screen or on the link below the video to see how much you can save on a new car at Carwow. The inside of this GTC4 Lusso is lovely. You can keep your classic cars. They are so Spartan inside. And there's so much leather in here. I mean, the Italians are famous for their leather goods, aren't they? Like, you've got Bottega handbags and stuff like that. And the leather quality in here is just to die for, especially if you're a cow. Sorry, that's a terrible joke. And yeah, I like the design of it. It looks really good, it looks really sporty. It's fairly easy to use as well, because most of the car's controls are here on the steering wheel, like in a Formula 1 car. This is actually the upgraded steering wheel. It's got carbon fibre on it and shift lights for the engine, and that'll cost you almost £3,000 as an option. But yeah, all the controls, easy to use. There's some extra ones down here, and the system for the ventilation is all right as well, although these buttons feel a little bit cheap. They don't feel like something out of a £231,000 car, and neither do these vents, these plasticky vents. They're like something you'd find in like a £30,000 sports car. That's the only thing I can fault. Actually, it's not, because I've noticed a couple of things. See that badge there, the GTC4 Lusso badge? It seems to be like skew-if. Now, I'm going to give Ferrari the benefit of the doubt. Maybe someone's rested on it, someone who's borrowed the car before me, and they've pushed it in, and that's why it's bent. But then I've noticed this, the Ferrari badge up here is slightly kind of off kilter as well. And you see that a lot, and it's driving me mad. Other than that though, you look at the stitching, it's perfect. You look at the design, it's lovely. I love the stitching of the horse here, the prancing horse on the headrest, though that is going to cost you an extra about £1,200 if you want that. So, yeah, there's lots of options, but the seating position is brilliant. There's plenty of room in this car. Practicality wise, well, oh dear, the door pockets can't quite hold a medium-sized bottle, so I definitely don't want this Ferrari. Oh, wait a minute, what's under here? Wait a minute, look, I've got 2 cup holder options, so, okay, the purchase is back on, guys, don't worry, I might buy this car after all. Under here, you've got some storage as well, and you've got input there for your stereo. You've got Apple CarPlay connection as well, which brings me on to the infotainment system. So you've got this big screen here, and generally this infotainment system is okay to use. It's responsive enough, so if you want to go into the navigation, you can do things like pinch and zoom on the map and flip back and forth between different settings. I don't think it's as intuitive to use as those systems that you get from Audi, BMW, or even Mercedes' latest system, but it's all right. Now, if you want to see my full detailed review of the infotainment system, click in the top right-hand corner of the screen or on the link below the video to see that video. Now, you've also got a couple of infotainment screens here in front of you, the driver. So the one on the right can show various stuff like trip information, status of the car, the traction control system, and then you can have various other information on the left-hand side screen. What's really important is that you can have your miles per hour in big font, which is key in a car that's this fast. And because you've got actually in the center of the actual driver's binnacle is the rev counter, which takes pride of place, and it does look glorious. Seeing as this is the most practical Ferrari, let's look at the back seats. So I'll just move this out of the way so you can see what's going on, and I'll just hop out. So this seat is in my usual driving position. The question is, will I have enough space behind myself? Come on, chair. Come on. What's the truth? Is it going to be all right? Yeah, it's taken its time. It's okay. It's okay. I haven't got much foot room, so it's a little bit cramped in there, but knee room's all right, and headroom, that's all right as well. I could travel a distance in this car. I could. Better in the front, but it's okay in the back. Now, if I wanted to take some skis along, you know, they could go through there, but then it's a little bit cramped on shoulder room. In terms of other creature comfort, so under here you've got some USB inputs so people can charge their mobile phones. There's a couple of cup holders, and you've got your own air vents back here. Yeah, it's all right. It's not a limousine though, but then it's not supposed to be, is it? It's a Ferrari. It's a Ferrari. So let's say you are crossing the continent in your GTC4 Lusso. How much luggage can you take with you? So, the first thing you'll notice is that there is a bit of a step in the boot floor, which does hamper practicality somewhat. So let's say you're trying to use your cheap, standard carwow suitcases. Yeah, it doesn't really work. Maybe we can do that. It looks kind of awful. To make the most of the space, you're going to need to invest in the bespoke Ferrari luggage set. So get rid of that rubbish. And then you can fit a lot more into it. Now there are a few tethering points as well, so that does boost practicality a little bit. If you want to, you can remove the parcel shelf. I've got to be very careful because I imagine it's quite expensive. I'll just leave it there for now. And then if I pull on these levers, I can fold down the rear seats. There we go, for more room, say if you wanted to go to the recycling centre with all your bits and pieces that you need to throw away in your £231,000 supercar.
Okay, that's the walk around bit dealt with. Now it's time to hit the road to see what this car is like to drive.
Okay, I'm going to drive this Ferrari. And what better way to start than putting it into launch mode and giving it the full beans. Oh no! Yeah, it's fast. It's very fast. Now you can get this car with the twin turbo V8 from the 488 if you want, and it's almost as fast. But I say no, get this V12 because because of that noise. Oh, the V12 is such a glorious, glorious thing. And you know what? One day you won't be allowed a naturally aspirated V12 petrol engine. They'll have died out. So it's like driving a dinosaur, a very, very powerful, crazy Tyrannosaurus Rex. I mean, it's just awesome. And the rest of the package, the whole car's so good, right? So yeah, this thing weighs almost 2 tons, so it doesn't feel as responsive as a 488. It doesn't, it's not a mid-engine supercar, but it handles so well, and you can feel what it's doing. And it's got that classic, really fast Ferrari steering. You just turn the wheel a bit and it's like, whoa! You're just changing direction. You can feel your brain smashing off the inside of your skull. It's lightning quick and huge fun. Yet there's the other side to it. It's comfortable. It's easy to live with. I can put the car into comfort mode and it slackens off the adaptive suspension, and it actually goes over bumps really, really well. Now I might think, well, that's dulled the throttle response and the gear shift in automatic mode. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is put it in sport, press this button on the steering wheel, which then puts the suspension into the soft setting, known as bumpy road mode, and you can have the best of both worlds. And it's a car that does it all. You can cover long distances in this thing, and it's just relaxing. It's not noisy really either. So you don't get too much tyre oil, you don't get much wind noise. All you really can hear is that. And that's a wonderful sound. Yeah, I love the way this drives. I love the way it does everything. You can see that I'm pretty excited about this car. It's hard to fault. It's hard to fault. The only thing you could say is, like I said earlier, it's not the sharpest Ferrari to drive, but it's sharp enough for most people. It's a great thing. It's a have your cake and eat it car, as long as you can afford this very, very, very expensive cake.
Actually, with the stability control switched off, it's more like a donut. Right, that's enough of that. Here's 10 annoying things about this Ferrari.
You don't have to be braking all that hard for the hazard lights to come on to warn other drivers. It's a little bit embarrassing. There's no wiper for the rear window, so when it's raining, you can't really see out of it. Also, the reversing camera is all the way down here, really close to the road, so it gets covered in crud really, really quickly. Yeah, not ideal for an all-weather Ferrari. When you press the open button for the glove box, it doesn't really flop down, does it? So you have to then do it manually. You don't have the ability to select the park mode for the automatic gearbox. You have to put the parking brake on, And then for some reason it says parking brake inserted. That sounds uncomfortable. Apple CarPlay is a £2,400 option for some reason, and you can't get Android Auto at all. So if you've got a phone like me, you can forget it. While I love these Scuderia Ferrari badges and these carbon fibre side vents, I absolutely hate this cheap looking indicator repeater. It's just horrible. The chip computer doesn't appear to show average miles per gallon, only remaining range, which is often not all that much in my experience. Now you might think that Ferrari owners don't care about their car's fuel economy, but they might just want to know out of curiosity. This leather boot lining may look gorgeous, but it's very slippy and things just slide around in the back of the car when you go around corners. Also, it's liable to scratch, isn't it? And you won't want that because it costs £1,900. The controls for the electric windows are here on the centre console rather than on the door, which would be the more logical place. Also, while you have one touch open for the passenger window, you don't have one touch close, whereas you do on the driver's door. The stereo automatically comes on, and it'll do that even if before you had it turned off or on mute. It doesn't happen all the time, just occasionally. There's no rhyme nor reason to it.
Don't worry, there's still lots to love about this car. Here's 10 cool features.
Behold Ferrari's 6.3 litre V12 engine. It has 690 horsepower, 697 newton meters of torque, though that isn't produced until just under 6,000 RPM. In fact, this engine will rev to over 8,000 RPM, and it's good for 0 to 60 in just 3.4 seconds and a top speed of 208 miles an hour. And being naturally aspirated, it sounds like this. This car uses a clever lightweight all-wheel drive system to ensure a perfect weight distribution for a sporty feel. It's actually driven off the front of the crank of the engine and can send 20% of the engine torque to the front wheels to provide extra grip when you need it. Now it actually is only four-wheel drive in first, second, third and fourth gears. In fifth, sixth and seventh it reverts to two-wheel drive. Shouldn't matter too much though, because fourth gear, yeah, if you max it out, you're doing 120 miles an hour, which is fast enough really, isn't it? High-speed stability and low-speed manoeuvrability are helped with the rear-wheel steering system. So at low speeds, the rear wheels turn ever so slightly in the opposite direction to the front to make the car turn tighter. When you're going faster, they actually turn in the same direction as the front to keep the car nice and stable. I love this optional passenger display. So it allows the passenger to do things like put a point of interest into the satellite navigation system so the driver doesn't have to do it. They can operate the media if you trust their taste in music. You can also show things such as the mode that you're in, but the best bit is this, look. It allows you to see the rev counter. Now that's got to be worth the £3,000 this costs. I absolutely love the shape of this car. It's so unique. There's nothing else like it on the road really. Now it's actually called a shooting brake. I've no idea where that name comes from. If you know, please let me know in the comments box below. Go on, show off how much of a car geek you are. If you look at the driving mode Maranello switch, it has sport, comfort, wet, and this little snowflake here, which signifies snow mode in a Ferrari. There's lots of aerodynamic features fitted to this car, and they're not just for show, they do actually work, unlike those that you get on quite a lot of other cars. Take this rear diffuser for example, it actually improves airflow at the back, increases downforce for added grip on the rear tyres. If you pay an extra £4,000, you can get a special lift facility for the car, which will raise it up, as you can see, on its suspension. That improves the ground clearance, especially at the nose, so that you don't bottom out if you go over a big speed hump or up a steep driveway. I really like the way that Ferrari has surrounded the seatbelt buckle holder with this lovely, expensive feeling suede material, so you don't have to feel the nasty, cheap plastic. This car's gorgeous glass roof has some special properties. When it's really hot outside, it will reflect the sun's hot rays away so you don't cook inside the cabin. Then when it's really cold outside, it'll actually reflect the heat from inside the car back in so it doesn't escape. Keep it nice and toasty. The only problem is it's an option and it will cost you over £11,000. Now, if you click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen or on the link below the video, you can go to CarWow to research and buy your next car. So then, what's my overall verdict on the Ferrari GTC4 Lusso? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, that question's rather moot, isn't it? If you don't like it, or you can't afford it, avoid it. If you do like it and can afford it, just buy it. It's my favourite Ferrari. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and click on our logo to subscribe to our channel. Also, click on the video windows for more CarWow videos.